going to give a statement, and then they'll give you questions. Time for people. Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay? We're good? Okay, thanks. My name is Todd Barnette. I'm the Commissioner of Community Safety for the City of Minneapolis. In a short while, members of the Minneapolis-City-Council will announce their plan to temporarily move our GVI and YGVI programs from the city to the county. I want to be clear, at no time did the council members engage us in a meaningful conversation about this plan. We were completely blindsided by this announcement. This is just another example of gamemanship. Unfortunately, this has consequences for our residents and the community safety ecosystem that we're trying to build. Some examples: they voted to move the behavioral crisis unit from the neighborhood safety to the fire department without engaging meaningful conversations. Council recently, again, didn't fund our recruitment campaign for officers at a time when we need to use all our strategies necessary to bring in good officers. And here we are today with another conceived plan that impacts the community safety ecosystem, and one that was made without consulting us or talking with us about how the move would affect our vendors, community members, or the feasibility of this move. Unfortunately, several council members chose to only support the efforts that would benefit them or their favorite nonprofit. This selective and self-serving approach not only hampers the integrity of the work, but it also undermines the important progress being made by our neighborhood safety department. The mischaracterization of the problem that doesn't exist has to stop. These services are in fact the cornerstone of neighborhood safety. We're making progress with our partners, with our community groups. We have the framework, we have the staff, we have the system of accountability in place. We have the relationship with our communities that's also critical to the work that's being done. GVI and YGVI are in a good place within our neighborhood safety department. To do this work, we need to keep the resources in the city. That's where they belong, period. We don't know what the county would do with the $1.2 million. I don't know if they will undergo a new RFP process for the vendors. Hennepin County's not accountable to the legal requirements that we are. I think most of you know we settled a lawsuit. It's the Coppola lawsuit. That lawsuit requires us to have oversight. It makes no sense that the county would do the same. This temporary move would undoubtedly cause a complicated and disruption of services. Good governance upholds service, provides transparency, accountability, and good stewardship of the taxpayers' money. The staff in my office, the Office of Community Safety, the hardworking staff in the Department of Neighborhood Safety are helping to build a comprehensive ecosystem for the residents and visitors in the city of Minneapolis. We have made several changes to our processes and are complying with the Coppola lawsuit that shows transparency, that shows accountability, that will provide that will provide the department with long-term sustainability. We're moving in a good direction. We just went through a training 2 weeks ago with the National Network for Safe Communities, in which we're trying to reset and be in a good place to get back to being a national model. This is not the time for political games or personal agendas. The people of Minneapolis have made it clear they want a new approach to community safety. They want one that balances law enforcement with the holistic community-based solutions. We're providing that. We cannot let political gains jeopardize the progress we've made or delay the progress that we continue to make. Thank you. I'll take questions.
Can you speak to any recent successes of violent federal programs in Minneapolis?
Yeah. I think if you look at some of the things that we're doing with over on the south side with the opening of the Lake Street Safety Center, where we have folks in there that are providing some of the services. I think that's a success there. I think if you look at the work that Amanda Harrington is doing, who's our Director of Design and Implementation, with bringing our providers together and trying to help coordinate them. When you look at all of the reports, whether it's the Safe and Thriving Community Report or the report from NYU, we have the services, but we need to collaborate with with our service providers, and also coordinate those services.
Can you comment on the comments that came out from the former director of neighborhood safety, saying that there was issues with the financial oversight as it is right now?
Director Nelson Brown started, I don't know, some months before I did. But when I got here, I think most people will see that we improved our invoicing process. We improved the process with procurement. We have an RFP process in which now people know when they apply, it's transparent about the eligibility, is transparent about what the scope of the work is. So I think that we've improved overall in those areas. I so I'll use the RFP process for example. Usually there's a group of people who review those applications. What we're trying to do in neighborhood safety is not have the same people review applications all the time. And so they're working very hard to cycle through the folks who come to view those proposals, and so that we eliminate bias, we eliminate any conflicts of interest. So that right there was a place in which we, I think, have our biggest accomplishments.
Somewhat connected topic up on the weekend, 6 juvenile suppressing carjacking. You could talk about your thoughts on that case and how police provided some statistics showing some improvements there, that they're seeing some improvements in carjacking in youth.
I'm not deeply familiar with the details of what happened over the weekend, but what I can say is that, like most of you know, that Chief O'Hara has instituted some policies within the department that when you see a string of carjackings or there is a carjacking, where he can deploy as many resources from the department as possible to stop that. And so we've seen a lot of success with that approach. So if it's in one precinct, where we can, we deploy as many officers as we can to that area to stop that activity.
Let's say that the council approves this over $1 billion to divert funds to the county. What does your office do then in response to that?
That is a good question, and I wish I could answer it, right? And this is the part that frustrates me about how these things are happening. Good governance requires all of our city leaders to sit down and really talk about something that would have a huge consequence to how we move forward with the safety of our residents. So once I see what's going on, if it's approved, then I could answer questions. So that's where we're at.
The timeline, and you said this was temporary. Have they revealed, how long they plan to divert this to the county?
Just from a technical standpoint, our budgets are only for 1 year, and we're only appropriated money for a year. So I'm assuming it's just for 2025.
More questions?
All right, thanks, folks. I don't know what was asked yet, but I wanted to just clarify your
statement yesterday, Commissioner, are you implying that or saying that these select council members, particularly Councilmember Wansley, are trying to move this money to benefit their favorite nonprofits?
I say, look at all the facts. Look at what we've done. We've shored up the invoice process. We shored up the procurement process. We've taken any bias out of our RFP process. We take those vendors who have scored the highest and select them for the services that we want to contract for. And it just surprises me that as we've done that, we've gotten more and more resistance. And so wherever those facts lead you, there it is.
Is that what you meant by that line, though?
I think we all have common sense. And when we look at all of these factors put together, and I know it's tough being a leader. And as a leader, sometimes you have to tell people you're close to, no, you didn't get the job. No, you didn't get the contract. It's tough, but that's leadership. And this is a transparent, accountable process. And that's how we're moving forward. Yep. All right, thanks.